And I think that's it. Okay, thanks for joining again. It's February 4th, and we're going to be doing Technology Drop-In Thursday. I've got some interesting stuff today, and I got a hunk of hardware I'm going to show you. David actually, I haven't even talked to Dave about this. It's a video camera that you can sign out at the library that you can take into your classroom that will do some magic stuff. So I'll demonstrate that. I'll probably won't record that because I have to walk through my house and stuff, and I don't want that recorded. But we'll definitely check that out at the end here. So here's well, I haven't started screen sharing, so I should start doing that. So here is what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to start off with some activity reports in a Google Doc. Google Meet's got some new stuff, and then just a couple other items in here. Nothing major yet. Stuff's just on the cusp of coming down from Microsoft. So we just have to be patient, which I am not. So first thing I want to talk about is activity report. You can do this in Microsoft in a different way, but Google added this about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Basically, it will let you know who has come and looked at your document. So if you're trying to ensure that, hey, has everyone gone and reviewed the document or stuff like that, I can actually take a look. So if I go under Tools, and I'm going to find an item here down at the bottom called Activity Dashboard. Basically, what it does is it says, hey, here are all the people that I've shared it with. There's the last time they looked at this document. Or I can look at all viewers at MacEwan University. Now, if I share this externally, because of course you're not logged in and stuff like that, there's no way to address that. But because these are all internal, I know exactly when people have accessed the documents. You can look at some viewer trends, some commenting trends and stuff, but typically that's where you would go into there. There is privacy settings, so if I don't want to be tracked, I can turn those off so that as I visit other people's documents, they won't show up there. But quite frankly, as internal documents go and stuff like that, you know, I don't really care who sees the stuff. It just shows that I looked at this document. But it's always nice when you want to find out, you know, has anyone even looked at this work that I've put up? It's kind of nice to take a look at that. Google Meets has now added a green room. So what that means is I'm going to use meet.new to start a new Google Meet so I can go through all the first couple of setup steps. But before you take off and join the meeting or anything, down at the bottom is a new link here. It says check your audio and video. And this is what's going to come up here. I'm just going to move my screen a bit so you can see it. So according to this right now, I muted my microphone. So if I want, I can go into here and I can click on this and turn it on. I'm just going to leave it for now. It shows me which headphones I'm using or which speakers I'm using. So I've got a bunch of different audio outs. I have a bunch of different audio in, and sometimes I have more than one microphone hooked in. So these are all a bunch of different choices that I can have. And then, of course, cameras. I've got 2 or 3 different cameras. So even as I go from app to app to app, I can change and have a different camera available for my Meet app as I would have for maybe a different application. But the nice thing is you can go through and check all that. And then when you go to the next step, you can actually record, and we've seen this before where you record something and it bounces back to the recording. This does exactly the same thing, so you can hear the quality of the audio that you've got. I find this is a handy piece. When I used to do a couple of YouTube shows, sometimes this microphone that I have, it disconnects when I go from one meeting to another. So when I'm trying to do a recording and I want the nice quality sound, this would be handy if had, because then I could have tested and then I would have found out that the audio is coming from the laptop, which is really awful. So yeah, as you go into new meetings and stuff and you want to just check your hardware and stuff, it takes like a couple seconds. You can just make sure everything's working there. So today I had a piece that I was doing where I had a calendar event and I had to do 4 or 5 instances of it. And it's not a regular scheduled calendar, so I can't do the repeating condition of it. So what I had to do is you go into Outlook, and if you're using the desktop apps, I actually can't right click and go copy or duplicate. I actually have to go create a new item and copy and paste it between the different elements. However, if you look at Outlook on the web, you can duplicate. So if I was to go into here, I'm just going to quickly set something up as my test. I can include whoever needs to see this. Actually, I'll use a different person rather than bothering Nick. My time, whatever my descriptions are, and I would create that, and that would be my template. And then I could also, if I opened it up again, come on, There we go. I can categorize it. So I have these different ones. These are my must attend things. So it goes like that. Now, before, if I wanted to create this on a different day or something like that, I would have to go in and repeat that step every time. But instead, I can actually just right click on here and I can duplicate that event. So all the tags or the categories that I've assigned, the people that are in it, the title, any links that I've put in it have been duplicated for me. I just have to go in, pick a new date and time, and then slap that in. So that's a much faster way than trying to manually build that. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, at the moment, it's only available on the web, but now that you're aware of it, it's going to make your life potentially a lot easier. Street View Time Machine. This is kind of fun. I mean, I know there are some faculty that are using like Street View and stuff for within Google Maps for assignments and stuff. So I wanted to show you this piece because this is a great way to answer the question, what used to be there? So I'm just going to pull up this link here. So this is just pulling up Google Maps. And we all remember the new building that we've got here. So this is what it looks like right now. And I can look across the side there and I can see that we've got the Canadian Brew House over there. Now, up in the top here, there's the Street View. If you click on that, this is actually the Wayback Machine. And these are different timestamps that Google's car came through. And so all the stuff that they've collected is still there. So I'm going to go right to 2009. Depending on what city you're in and when they started, you're going to have more data than other cities or even other parts of the city. So even within Edmonton, there are some areas that have updated it for 2007. But I'm just going to click on, if I click on here, it actually replaces my main window. So now there's what Street View looked like in 2000. Whoops, let's go back. There, it shows you 2007. Excellent. Let's go to 2007. So there it is. We can see all the construction that was going on at the time. Does anyone remember what this Canadian Brew House used to be beforehand? It was Kaylee's. So that's kind of a cool thing.
And it was Applebee's before that.
Applebee's before that, correct? Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have that as proof of that for Street View, but it is kind of handy. And as we move farther and farther down, down in time, we're going to be able to see different changes. There was a great project for Detroit. So when Detroit was going through its downturn of the economy, there's a building, and you could go all the way through time and watch this poor decrepit building as you went back in time rebuild itself into a nice, beautiful building. But once the economy crapped out on them, that got lost. So it's kind of cool. You can see all sorts of different things that you can look at. I'm just going to show you another example just because it's always fun. So this is a intersection off of 17th Street, and you can see there's a Popeyes and this billboard here. But here I'm going to go look at Street View for 2009. There's nothing there. So it's kind of cool when you say, well, geez, this was just all fields like 10 years ago or something. So kind of fun. So you can also use that for assignments and stuff if you wanted to do research and have them find out what buildings used to be there and stuff. And it's just kind of a cool thing to do. Microsoft Teams. I'm just going to pull up this real quick. Microsoft Teams actually has a history function, and I wanted to show that because I don't remember to use it a lot. So here's my piece in here. If I go through into here and I post a message here, then I go into to this account here, I post a message there. I'm going to go over into my Microsoft team, into a team and post it there. Instead of my having to go back up to here to get back to that, the back button here is available. So I just click back and it's just going to take me one step back at a time through everything that I've done. Now, what's a function that's about to roll out within the next week is if you put your cursor over this, you're going to get a drop-down view of all of your whole history. And Google does that as well. If you come up to here with the button, the back button is if I click and hold it down, there's my history that I can go back in time. It's going to be the same thing, but it's going to be in Microsoft. So, and you just have to mouse that over. So keep an eye when I see that comes out, I'll let you guys know. But just remember that rather than trying to go and dig up the same person, especially if you're sending a message that's someone that's not in your chat list here on the side, it's just as easy to go in and quickly use the back arrow. Other thing I'm going to show you, just because I saw it the other day, I just didn't think about it before. But if you go up top here and hit the slash here, you're going to get a list of all the different commands that you can do. So I can quickly put in change my status to away or be right back. I can do show me the shortcut keys, mentions, whatever. There's a bunch of stuff in there. What I really like about this is there's one called call. So if I want to call Nick without having to go to Nick's screen, I can do that. So I'm going to go over here, and Nick will ignore me, then that's fine. But I just have to go call and hit enter, and then it says, who do you want to call? And then I can type in the person's name, user 30, in this case, hit enter, and then it just starts phoning them. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is that if you'll notice when I put Nick in, is I actually don't see his status. So I'm sure that'll change soon. I will definitely be putting a request for that, a suggestion. But other than that, though, you can just fire it off and be done with it.